Hi, I'm Paul Francis, and welcome to my YouTube channel. On the channel, you will find many videos helping you to discover more about yourself. Make sure you subscribe and hit that like button. Hit it and share it. For those people who share, there will be prizes galore. You'll have one-to-one sessions, merchandise, coming with me on paranormal investigations, loads and loads and loads of things just for sharing. Get it out there. Share the show, share the videos, and be a part of the Paul Francis community. Yes, indeed. Good evening. Welcome to Spirit Quest with your host, Paul Francis. And welcome to this Thursday night here on the beautiful planet Earth. Welcome to one and all. Let's see what we got. We got evening to Paul and his beautiful family. Hope you're as well as can be. I'd love to know who you are, but I can't tell. Come and tell me who you are. Come out of Facebook. Come out. Leave Facebook behind. Go into YouTube. And in the little search bar at the very top, it'll say, whatever you want to find on YouTube. Just type in Paul Francis Medium, and it will bring you straight back to the show, right back here. More importantly, help people to see who you are, and we can talk. Dawn Haddam has joined us. Dawn, as always, it's a pleasure. Just going to move the camera a little bit there. There we go. Dawn, welcome. Lovely to see you, darling. Thanks for being here. As always, welcome to the show. And so, Roger Garza, good evening, my dear pal. How are you today? I hope all is well with you. Hope you're keeping safe. Eva's joined us. Good evening, Eva from Sweden. Good evening, Eva. Welcome to the show. Lovely to see you. Thank you for being here. Rachel has joined us. Hi, Paul and everybody else. And Rachel, it's an absolute pleasure. Welcome to the show. So we're coming to you live on 105.3 right up to 107.7 FM, coming to you live on UPRN Talk Radio. Coming to you live from the beautiful New Orleans. Welcome to everybody listening on the FM frequencies in New Orleans and everywhere else. It's great to see you and hear you. We've got another lovely Facebook user. Once again, I'll bring it up because you're obviously watching the screen, but I don't know who you are. I'd love to say hi to you. Come out of Facebook. Facebook just tells me Facebook user. I can't really sort of come out of Facebook user. Go to YouTube, top of the bar, in the search bar, type in Paul Francis Medium. Boom, straight back here. And then I'll be able to see who you are. Ronnie Huff is in the house. Ronnie, it's a pleasure. How are you? Good to see you. Good to see you. Welcome to the show. Mary Erickson has joined us. Lisa Cantow, Michigan's here. Michigan is in the house. And this house is clear. Lovely to see you. Lovely to see you all. Welcome to the show. Don't forget, it's really, really important. Multiples of things I need off of you. First and foremost, whack the little thumb button. Like the show. Please, please, please. I need you guys. It's so important to me. Like the show. Then share it. Share the show with all of your friends and family. Please. It's really important. Julie Sharp. That was me, Paul. I thought it was on YouTube. Julie. I mean, come on. Lovely to see you, darling. Thanks for being here. Lynn, I nearly said Linda. Lynn has joined us. I suppose if I say that really fast, it sounds like Linda. Lynn has joined us. Lynn. I'm breaking these teeth in, don't worry. Mary Erickson has shred. That's cool. Shred. Lovely to see you. Tina, hi. Good to see you. How is everybody tonight? How are you all doing? It is really, really great to see you. A couple of things I kind of want to talk about tonight. If you got any questions, of course, it's share the show, get it out there. Let's talk about it. If you got anything in particular you want to talk about, I'm happy to talk about it. Don't forget, coming after this show tonight, you have the Outer Realms with my dear pals Michelle and Amelia. Make sure you look out for that, and all of the other great shows that are coming out on this wonderful network. Make sure you watch them. That's more important. Anne-Marie Reyes, welcome to the show. Good to see you, and welcome. Lovely to see you. Messages coming in. People are messaging me on Facebook, and okay, I'm going to be just checking it. I went right off the cuff there. Messages are coming in to me from, and they come in different sizes, so I have to flip off and go and see them. So different things happening over here in the UK. A lot of things happening with me. A big move coming up shortly. Maybe even a consideration. Well, actually, I'm moving. There's a couple of things coming up. I don't want to share anything yet, because you know what it's like when you share something and you get something that's really, really, really big happening, then it doesn't happen, or it doesn't happen on time. It's so annoying. So I'll wait till it happens, and then I'll share it with you guys. But lots of great things happen. We're putting, of course, the paranormal investigations team back together. So make sure that you're a part of that. If you want to be especially here in the Southwest, if you want to be part of Paraghost, then please do be a part of Paraghost. We'd love to see you. We would actually love to see you. So make sure that you connect with myself or Trudy, and we will definitely make sure everything's happening for you, so you come in and be a part of the team. So if you've got anything you want to discuss tonight, do put it to me. Let me know, and we'll take it all on board. Who else has joined us? Emma Lorimer, welcome. Lovely to see you. Thanks very much for being here. Amanda's just joined us as well. Lovely to see you. Roger saying share. It's important. Get it out there and share that show. Get it out there. Get a lot of people to come and join us, especially if you want to win some gifts. If you'd like some time with me, if you want to have a one-to-one with me, get out there and share the show. Get people to come in and join and mention you. Make sure that anybody who comes to the show, make sure that they subscribe to the show. And if you subscribe to the show, but here's what's important. When you subscribe, that's important, but also hit the little like button. Okay, hit the like button. Yes, hit the little bell icon. So when we have the show, when the show's coming up, when I have set it up, it will send you an advance notice to say, hey, Paul's show's coming on XYZ time, XYZ date. And then you'll be able to hit that, and it'll just take you straight here. You don't have to worry about it anymore. Kathy's just joined us. Hello, Kathy. Hanley Little, as always, welcome. It's great to see you. So, what is it you want to talk about tonight? I did have a question. I wrote it down over here. It was a really great question. And I can't remember where I written it down. It was something about. I'll try and come into remember looking at it. A question somebody sent me, and I thought, wow, that's a really cool question. It's a great discussion point. It was something about. It was kind of like in the sort of realms of when somebody crosses over. What happens to them? Well, I mean, unless I cross over myself, you can't really tell. But from what I've got in 35 years of doing this work, it really is an amazing experience. A lot of people get frightened, which is completely and utterly expectable and explainable and understandable. So, it's the fear of the unknown. Okay. If you have had an NDE, that kind of sort of lets that fear go a little bit. It kind of brings it back and makes life a little bit easier for you, because you kind of got a heads up on what's going to go on. But the biggest fear that I find is coming from, not necessarily for those who've crossed over, but a lot from people here. A lot of people on, frightened for their loved ones who's crossed over. Again, makes absolute sense. So those people come to me with that sort of question and that concept they want to discuss, are usually kind of like embarrassed about it. You should never, ever be embarrassed about wanting to learn new information. especially if you're carrying some sort of information that has been given to you, which is completely and utterly incorrect. You know. Um, so let's have a quick look at what happens. Literally, when we let go of this earth, from what I understand, there is a crossing over sort of time period, whatever you want to call it. So we let go of the earth, we kind of step out of the body, and we begin that journey to cross over. But at that moment, or pre that moment we let go, we're already surrounded by the people who love us. So our friends and family who crossed ahead of us are there waiting for us. So the biggest fear, everybody that I have spoken to through my career, is, did they die alone? No, absolutely not. No way, no how. GC McBride, Grania, welcome to the show. How come you've done GC McBride? What's that all about? Welcome, my darling cousin. Helen Mansell, Paul, I've been trying to get on YouTube, so no joy. Don't give up, Helen. Do it again. So in the search bar, Paul Francis Medium. Okay, and it'll bring you straight here. Okay, darling. Faye's joined us. Hi, and Richard. Sorry, I missed both of you all. Welcome to the show. Anne Marie. I think I said hi to Anne Marie anyway. Richard and Faye, welcome to the show. But Helen, don't ever give up. It's better on Facebook. Or sorry, better off Facebook, better on YouTube. Alison Lauracy, welcome to the show. As always, how's it going? So no, we don't ever cross alone. Never. We're all connected at spirit. So that's our connection. And our friends and family cross over. They come in advance. There's so much evidence of people who are talking to others in the room, just prior to their crossing. They're looking, at usually one area of the room, and they're starting to connect with those people who had crossed ahead of them. So that reconnection begins even before they let go of here. So never ever worry about a person passing alone. That can't not ever happen. They could be in the middle of the Sahara Desert on their own physically, but they still won't cross alone. All right, so don't worry about that. They're met by their friends and family. From what I can gather through, again, multiples of years of doing this work, is they get orientated. So they get shown where they are. They get shown their connections. They get shown all of the family that they lost. So it literally becomes a big party if you think about it. All of the family is there to meet and greet them. There is this overwhelming sense of love, unconditional love, by the way. So the fear factor is immediately eradicated. It's gone. And if we had a friend or family who crossed due to, say, an illness, then that illness is eradicated. The illness stays with the physical. It doesn't transmute up to the spiritual. I had an unfortunate run-in with an idiot a little while back who was telling people that their friends and family were in hospital in spirit. Heaven's got hospitals now, apparently, which is total and utter rubbish. Absolute total tripe. There is no illness in the other side of life. If they had lost limbs, those limbs are returned. If they'd lost their sight or hearing, it's returned. Everything that was not sort of whole and physical here is returned whole to them in spirit. So don't worry about that too. Trudy's just joined us. Trudy, good evening, my darling. As always, good to see you. If you've got any more questions, keep them coming. So it's practically us that carry the fear, not our friends and family who cross. We're the ones. We're frightened. We're frightened because we've just lost somebody we love and absolutely adore. But we're the ones that kind of like carry the fear factor, not them. When they cross to the other side of life, it's kind of like they hang up their coat of inhibitions. All of the worries and stresses and politics and fears and everything that they had pre-going doesn't exist anymore. Kind of just floats away. So it's when they come back to me, they are happy, they are content, they are peaceful. it's a lovely connection. Actually, it helps me a lot when I connect with them. Uh, hey, says Trude. Richard says, even if you say I was not the be, oh, I'm just Richard. I'm going to bring you up on screen because I can't really make out what you're writing. Even if you say I was not the to be with him, her, wonder if they were alone. Like Paul said, everyone from the other side is with them. That's right. You're absolutely spot on. Okay. Mary says, my brother was passing. When my brother was passing, I beg your pardon, he was afraid, and he just before he passed, he told us my dad and our brother were there waiting for him, and he was able to pass in peace. Smiling Mary, thank you for sharing that. That's exactly what I was talking about. And so Trudy just shared the link up there for you, Helen, if you want to use that link. Tina says, Mary, by the way, that. Thank you for sharing that. I hear that, that concept a lot. So that's what I'm talking about. When they're looking around the room, they link in pre actually letting go. So they've linked into their friends and family, husband, wife, brother, sister, cousins, friends, and the transition then becomes much more peaceful. It's an amazing thing to witness. Apparently, I've never witnessed it myself physically, and I wasn't there when my mom crossed. My mom, wow, I sat by her side for literally 3 weeks, never left her side. And the moment I decided I was going to get up and go and get a cup of coffee, she decided to go. So she waited for me to leave the room before she passed. Tia says, evening, Paul. Glad I caught you this live. I missed your last one, Tia. Not a problem at all. Not a problem at all. Thank you for being here, darling. Appreciate it. Right. Amanda says, do you have to reincarnate if you don't want to? Well, it's not a matter of, it's not like here where we have to go to school until the age of 18 now. You know, it's kind of like how far you want to progress your soul. So once again, the thought process behind the question is based upon here, now, and physical. Okay, so when we cross to the other side of life, we sort of, if you imagine, say all the previous lives we had before, we have on a hard drive. Okay, so all of the data, the backup data on the computer is on a hard drive. So while we're working off a new drive here, it's a fresh new drive, so everything is new. But when we cross over to the other side, all the previous data then is downloaded and mixed and merged with the new data. So we're building as we go. So your perspective is completely and utterly different. And that's what I mean by hanging up the coat of inhibitions. So your perspective on the earth, your perspective on people is a completely different perspective than what it was when you were here. So what I find is that we have 7 levels from what I understand through my 35 years of doing this work, is there are 7 levels. Okay, so you come in at level 1, and then that's, you're a new soul, so to speak. So you start gaining experience and life experience through a first level. So if you haven't learned everything you need for the process up to level 2, then you come back into level 1 again and again and again until you've learned all of the lessons needed to progress up to level 2. So you could be in level 2 100 times before you can progress up to level 3. You could be in level 3 twice before you go up to 4, and you could be in level 4 300 times, 500 times. It's while you've got all the, it doesn't matter how long you're in each level, it's more whether or not you progress through the learning, the discovery, the experience, and that life experience to assist the soul in growing up each level until the point where you get to level 7 and the top level, and then you have an option, from what I understand, of becoming a guide, hence the name, guides. you then can become a guide for other souls who are on their soul progression. I can't wait to be a guide. I cannot wait. Can't wait to be a guide. I will so haunt the person that I'm given to guide. Morning, noon, and night. Sean kind of haunted me at the beginning, but now she's calm with me. From what I understand, the reincarnation concept is this, it's based upon a lot more than just whether or not we want to. It's the lessons that have to be learned, and then we choose where we're going to progress to. So that's what I understand. Mary says, brought great peace to us all, and it was a great gift to us as well. I would completely and utterly concur with that, Mary. I would absolutely concur with that. Faye, my darling Faye says, I witnessed my sister Carol going through this experience of connecting with the other side and loved ones prior to her passing. She said it was beautiful on the other side of life. I can concur with that as well. On the occasions where I was taken over to the other side of life, everything that I was allowed to remember, I might add, everything that I was allowed to remember, it was so surreal. It was so vivid, so magnificent, beautiful. The colors were brighter. The air was clearer and sharper. The fragrances were so poignant. I remember everything was happy. Everything was, even when I met this my mom presented me to this man, this person. And part of me was like, hang on a second, who's this guy? But that lasted a millionth of a second, like 100,000th of a second. And I felt totally safe. I didn't have any regrets, any fears, nothing. Everything was removed. Totally and utterly safe when I was being then taken and shown something. So I remember being brought through these doors, and it was kind of like there was light. And next thing I know, I'm walking back through the doors with this man, and he said to me, "You'll be allowed to remember when you need to remember." And I was like, okay. And he said, then just that he had his hand on my shoulder, and he said, "But don't worry, the world will be fine." And that's what he said to me. And then I remember those. I remember going through this magnificent big place. I remember meeting this man, him bringing me through these doors. I remember just being light on the way in through the doors, and then coming back out. The light was behind me. And I remember him, I don't remember what happened on the other side of the doors, but he said, "You will be allowed to remember when you need it." And that was it. So it's amazing. Jackie Noon has joined us. Jackie, good evening. Welcome to the show. Lovely to see you. Good evening, all. Many people know when it's their time to go and wait. Let me just bring Jackie up. She says, "Good evening, all. Many people know when it's their time to go and will wait till we leave them." There's another concept that I have sort of linked in and found and understood that goes with people getting ready to cross over. When ladies are pregnant, they go through a process called the nesting process, where they start getting things together, little baby clothes, and the crib sorted out, and so on and so forth. Well, there's a process very similar that, and if you at the time when somebody crosses, nobody ever thinks about it, which is, again, totally understandable. But if somebody crosses over that's close to you, try and remember this. You'll be amazed at how well they were prepared to go. You'll be surprised that all the banking was done, all the insurances were in place, everything was in place, all of the legalities were sorted. So it was all preordained, pre-sorted, not because they knew, oh, by the way, on August the 23rd at 2:40 p.m. I'm going home. But there's something there that processes and gets them to put things in. I must get my life insurance sorted. I must get this sorted. I must get that done, and it's all done. And I liken that to the nesting process that the ladies go through. So Jackie, yeah, they do. Well, my mom did. She waited until I went out the room before she crossed over. My mom was in and out of consciousness, says Alison. And one thing she said was she was afraid she wouldn't see us again. Do you think she was transitioning then? Well, if she was getting prepared to go, she was already in the transitioning process. The transitioning process can start 2 to 3, maybe 4 days, maybe a week, even ahead of the actual act of leaving this earth. So, with my mother, it was at least 4 days that I remember that she would talk about people in the room. At least 4 days. My grandmother apparently the same, although I wasn't there to see her as she left. I was here in the UK. She passed in Ireland. But my dad said she kept talking about who was up in the corner of the room talking to her. But at least 3 to 4 days, even a week, that transitioning process can start. It can be, put into place, and they'll start feeling people coming around them. They'll start talking about people being around them. My mom was talking about my nephew being next to her. So the transitioning, or the pre-transitioning, is just starting getting them calm. It's like, when the drug that the doctors give you prior to having a procedure, prior to having an operation, it kind of just calms you down. It doesn't put you under. You just go, oh yeah, right, calm, okay, and it kind of just gets you ready like that. Amanda says, thank you for that. You're very welcome. My guides are jokers. Mine isn't. Well, have I got it? Yeah, I have one guide who's a bit of he's a hell of a joker. That's Guy, his name is, and he's a Cockney. He's wait. He speaks like that, and he's very bit of a Del Boy kind of a character. And if you're not from the UK, you probably won't know who Del Boy is, but all the people from the UK will know who Del Boy is. Okay, Emma says, Paul, I suffer with anxiety. Do you see things getting better for me? And being less. Well, Emma, first and foremost, this is Thursday night. I don't do readings on a Thursday night, but I am more than happy to answer questions and help you. This I wouldn't call a reading anyway, Emma. All right. If you suffer with anxiety, then you should be speaking with a doctor first and foremost. Okay. There is no psychic medium that I'm aware of is a qualified doctor. There probably is, that I'll say it again. There is no psychic medium that I'm aware of is a qualified doctor. However, that being said, life experience and what we pick up through life experience is something that is designed to help other people. Anxiety is a state of mind, as everybody knows, but that state of mind affects the body physically, hence the name anxiety. Where I've helped people with anxiety in the past is through the medium of meditation. Okay. And the second part of that is called positive reinforcement. Okay. So it's a matter of examining what it is that sets your anxiety off, and then working out a way of how to control that. Okay. Anxiety and anxiousness is usually based upon a lack of patience. Weirdly enough, you're anxious and you got to get it done. So patience, breathing. I always say to people, or I always say to students, return to the basic of life, and the basic of life is breathing. Big breath in, hold, and do that 3-4 times, and you watch your anxiety go like that. Amazing. Just give it a go. You're growing your goatee. It suits me. I've had it for a long time now, to be honest. I've had that goatee for a while. In fact, I've got a wee tiny bit of beardy thing going on here as well. That's only because I've just been so busy that I haven't had an opportunity to shave yet. I've been busy literally day and night. And you stop eating and drinking Sorry, Richard. I must. Did I miss something in between? Um, who stops eating and drinking? Sorry, Richard. I maybe missed something. My apologies on that. Hi, Paul. Facebook user. Don't know. I don't know who you are, but welcome. It hides my face. Well, maybe that's not a bad thing, Trudy, is it? Just speak like that. Thank you. Facebook user, welcome to the show. I don't know who you are. I'd love to be able to say to you who you are, but come out of Facebook, go into YouTube, in the search bar at the top, Paul Francis Medium, and you will find me. Alrighty. Or click the links on my Facebook page that will bring you straight to here. Okay. So keep coming with the questions. I'm really, really happy with your question, and it's really that is part of the transition time. Actually, I have to disagree with you, Richard, because my mom ate and drank right up to the last day, and in fact, I actually personally myself fed her. So that's not actually. I mean, that's nothing to do with the transitioning. That's to do with the physicality. So the transitioning and physicality are two different things. Some people can eat and drink, some people can't. So it's not part of it. It's just down to the individual thing. But I know where you're going with it, so it's okay. But my mom on the last couple of days wasn't capable of eating, so I would actually drip water on her lips and keep her moist, and she was being fed intravenously. So it's that's a kind of individual personal thing. But I can understand, there's no need for food. There's definite need for moisture and water, definitely, but food, there's not a massive need for it, because if they're going to be transitioning, there's no need to build up strength. But that sounds really bad. But on the losing my mom first, losing my dad second, I didn't want to use them to go. I didn't want them to go. I was devastated when they went, and I didn't, still to this moment, don't want them to go. But that's because my that's me being selfish. That's me. Would I want to take them back from the place to where they are now in absolute perfection, with all of their family who they lost, who they had to shed tears from? Would I want to take them back from a place where there's absolute peace, tranquility, and love back here? God, no. No. But did I want them to go? Equally, no. Kelly Durant, welcome to the show. Good to see you. Today is my mom's anniversary. Well, darling, welcome to the show. Sending you a lot of love today on your mom's anniversary. Today is the day I would suggest you sit back quietly, cup of tea, cup of coffee, whatever you prefer. Close your eyes and just, wish her a happy anniversary and ask her to come close to you, because I guarantee you, Kelly, she will. She will definitely be coming close to you today. Make sure that okay, let's sound again. Once the thing is, I've got people messaging me here, so I'll just tell them I'll talk to them after the show. So keep coming with the questions. Somebody asked me as well what I meant by the sort of life review. Somebody asked me that, and it was middle of the week. They watched the show and they said, "Oh, hey, Paul, listen, I was watching your show. I wasn't grasping what you meant by life review." Okay, that's okay, no problem at all. There's different people call it different things. I've heard it described in about 6 different ways. So what happens literally when we cross the other side of life? We are obviously met by our friends and family, and then we are interlinked with people like guides and angels and people like that. And one of the things that I was taught being a Christian all the way through my life is when we cross to the other side of life, we are judged on what we did this during this life. We are judged. Yes, we are judged. and we are judged by the one person who is absolutely and utterly qualified to judge us. Anybody want to throw in an idea who that might be? Emma says, "Thank you very much, Paul. Much appreciated." Emma, you're welcome. Very, very welcome. Now and always, you're very, very welcome. Thank you. Yes, you're right. It's part of the dying. Yeah, that's it. You're right, Richard. That's part of the dying process or the physical process of letting go of this life. The transitioning process is something completely different. So um Faye says, let me bring Faye up, okay, because I can read it better on the screen. Faye says, I get how you feel about not wanting your parents to go. My grandkids who never knew them are very curious about who they were, their personalities, etc. They feel left out of that experience. Well, you're absolutely right. And when I talk to my children about my grandfather and the lessons that my grandfather taught me as a person, all of the stuff that he taught me on the farm about how the land. He used to say to me, "Son, you don't have to do anything. Just listen to the land. She'll tell you everything you want to know." And he referred to the land as she. And he said, for an example, I can tell you when the weather is going to be bad just by looking at the cows. And when your grandfather speaks to you, you're like, you know, at the beginning, as far as I remember looking up at my grandfather thinking, he is God. That's God. And then when you get a bit older and you start becoming a bit of a wise ass, you're thinking, well, you're looking at the cows and they'll tell you how, the weather's going to be. What, they just chirp up and go, hey, by the way, Grandfather Peter, the weather today is going to be slightly blowy with highs of number. He would have given me the back of his hand. No, he watched the cows. If they lie down in the middle of the field, you can expect warm weather and sunshine. If they will move to one edge of the field, you can pretty much expect bad weather or rain, and the rain will come from the side of the field that they go to. And you know what? Every single time that I've watched, and through all of the years that I lived on the farm with my grandparents, he was 100% right. He taught me this cool thing that he said, "Look at the moon, son." And I said, "Look," I was looking at the moon. He said, "See that ring around the moon?" I said, "Yeah." He said, "The wider the ring, the deeper the frost." Once again, he was right 100%. And what he was telling me is it's a symbiotic relationship, the earth and us. And he was very deeply religious. So he would never miss mass, and he would lead the rosary every night and stuff like that there. But he was equally, and I love this. There was a very Wiccan concept about him as well. He's very connected to the earth. So that kind of Wiccanism was magnificent. And my mother, my beautiful, beautiful mom, her time of the year was autumn. She loved autumn. And it's one of the times of the year where the energies are just nuts. It's really, really high. So she was very, again, a very devout Christian, but at the same time, extremely Wiccan. So in that, I don't see any need to judge anybody who chooses one or the other or both. I think there's a lot left out of, say, for an example, Christian text through Bibles and stuff, because that part of the Bible or the Bible was written in a part of the world where kind of autumn doesn't really, winter and autumn doesn't really have much to do with that part of the world, whereas it over here, it's a massive part of what we do. So there, I would believe that, Jesus and the apostles and everybody who is connected to the holy sort of entourage would be open to learning and open to teaching. So I kind of like that. Mark, hi, welcome to the show, Mark. Mark says, "Hey, how long have you been a psychic?" Well, okay, I'm going to answer that question with a lesson. All right. First and foremost, every human being born, bar none, is psychic. Every single human being born is psychic, especially the ones who stomp their feet and say there's no such thing, it's all a load of hooey. Because they will use words like, oh my God, if I go into this room, it makes me feel this, or God, I felt that, with this, or do you ever feel that, they'll use that word all the time. Feel, or got this connection, or I got a gut instinct. Oh, my instincts are telling me this. All of those words, just bywords or byproducts of the concept of psychic, right? Psychic ability is the connection of energies crisscrossing over each other like that. And for example, if you walk into a room, you'll kind of feel, oh, this, I feel so comfortable here, or you walk up to a person you've never met and you just think, that's weird. I feel like I've known you all my life, that kind of thing. So psychic, every human being is psychic, bar none. Okay, now whether they develop that ability or whether they don't develop that ability, that's neither here nor there. That ability then, that psychic connection, you would be so surprised as to how much that affects you every single day, bar none. When you get up in the morning till you go to bed at night, you will have been affected psychically throughout the entire day, even if you don't leave the house. Okay, because somebody will come into the house, will have which will have sort of had some sort of experience that day. They're carrying that energy. You'll pick that energy up. You're affected by psychic energy, and you haven't even left the house. So the other thing that everybody is empathic. It kind of, I get a wee bit sort of like that. When people say, "Oh, I'm an empath." Everybody's an empath. Okay, it's part of the psychic ability. So I've been psychic literally, Mark, from the day I was born. However, my mediumship seems, from what I can remember, and I'm going back to stories and being told what happened. My medium connection was from about the age of 5 years old, and that's when I first started interacting with spirit. Now, don't get me wrong, I didn't sit and talk to multiples of lines with spirits every single day of my life. It's not like a Whoopi Goldberg thing in Ghost where they all come in and I'm sitting there going, "Oh, leave me alone." It's not like that. It's not even like the movie. What was it called? With Ricky Gervais, Ghost Town. Brilliant movie. Haven't seen that. Watch that. It's not like that. During my years of sort of strong growth, like the latter teenage years, to the early 19 years, they kind of left. The psychic ability was very much there, but the mediumship would slide in and out just periodically, and then it left me alone till I grew a bit more in my competence as a person, and then it came boom back, whoosh, woof, like that, going, "You're going to become a medium." Really, to the point where I didn't even have much choice, no matter, to be honest with you. I had a very, very strong, promising career in the music business, really up high in the music business. And then I just knew that this wasn't what I was supposed to do. And even to the levels where I was on TV, and and it was just like, this is not what I'm supposed to do. It's not this. And then I was led to the psychic ability, and it just went oof, off like a rocket. But Mark, thank you very much for your question. So, psychic all my life, mediumship from the age of 5. Righty then. Let's see what we got question wise. So Trudy says, I shared, I don't have any friends. Shut up, you. God, you. What do you think we are? What do you think everybody in that line is? They're all your friends. Crystal tips. Dawn says, oh, click that again because I missed it. Dawn says, I am still the only one that liked the show. 15 watch. Come on, you lot. There's 15 of you on this here. Not only one person's liked it. Hit that like button. Hit the thumbs. Come on, click that like button. Let's go. Please. Thank you. Okay. Click that and back in, says Dawn. I have it too. It's natural to me, says Lynn. I'm not familiar with YouTube. I tried to kind of comment on there. Alrighty. Well, okay. Well, if you're on Facebook, then go find my Facebook page, and you'll see the link to the show, and that will click that, and that'll take you straight to the YouTube link. But I just can't see who you are, and I'd love to interact with you, and I can answer your questions if you just type them up, but I'd love to be able to see who you are and talk to you. And again, with this person as well, great to see you again. I'd love to be able to see who you are, but please come in through YouTube. And if you're new to joining my show here on YouTube, please make sure you subscribe, make sure you like. It's really important. Please like. I can't believe that there's like 15, 18 of you on chatting me and only one person's liked it. Come on, guys. It's a click. Hit the little thumb, like the show. Kathy says, since my husband passed 4 years ago, very sorry to hear that, darling, I keep going through life review of things I've done wrong and things that I've done right, learning from it, and also those I've hurt and those I've helped. Okay, that brings me back to the life review concept, and are we judged? And the answer is yes, we are. And I asked you the question, who do you think it is that judges you? And the answer is, of course, you. You get, from what I've heard, about 6 different methods of how this has been presented. One said it was like a book, the other said it was like a big movie screen, the other said it was like watching a screen. And so there's multiples of ways of how they show it. They kind of show you from the very moment of your life to the end of your life. And as you go through the process of your life, you see all of the things you got right, and you obviously see the things you get wrong, and you think, and things like, oh my God, I knew that was wrong, yet I still did it. Oh my God. So it's you that makes the conscious judgment on what you were able to do and what you weren't able to do, and so on and so forth. So it is really learning the lessons and adapting what you've learned to be able to grow the soul. But Kathy, I will tell you here and now, it is priority that you focus on all the great things, not the negatives. Okay? Negatives have a lesson behind them. Take the lesson, but let the situation go. All right? Take the lesson with you. So a negative can be turned into a positive by adopting what you've learned and bringing that to your life. Right? The lesson. Do it. Promise me you'll do it. Jackie says, we had a send off from my uncle. Outside the window was a robin. Yep. We left the crematorium. The robin flew right in front of me and my sister, and then sat on my name stand. Wow. Wow. So you were getting a message literally within minutes of sending your uncle to rest. So the robin is a symbol that links me and my mom and dad together. So when I need them, a robin will turn up. And if a robin doesn't turn up when I think I need them, then they're saying to me, come on, you can do this. That's the way I look at it. So look out for those. People say to me, oh, I don't hear anything from them. You're overthinking and you're not looking. Okay, the robin turning up for Jackie, that's the message. Mark says, have you ever been scared of being a medium? Great question. Brilliant question, sir. Brilliant question. Have I ever been scared of being a medium? No. No. Have you ever been worried about being a medium? Yes. Scared of it? No, not really. Worried was along the lines of, am I making the right choices here? Because am I going to let my family down by taking a career that I'd worked really hard off and just walking away from it? What are my family going to think of me? Am I coming across as selfish? And that's what ran through my head. So I did the right thing, and I sat my children down, and my wife, and I said, "Look, I, I really, I really want to show you what I do, what I feel, what I want to do." And I sat with him, and I went, you know, "Here's what I do. What do you think?" And I said to my children, my son, he was only about 12 at the time, something like that. And I said to him, and I said, "Look, what do you think of your dad being a medium? Because he used to be a runner for me. If you watch me on live shows on YouTube, filmed in theaters, he's one of the ones that was running around with the mic, passing the mic to people I was coming to in the audience." And so I said to him, "Look, what do you think if your dad, if my kids had turned around to me and said, 'Dad, this is just not right,' I would have probably reconsidered and thought about what I did." But they all were like, "Oh no, are you kidding? This is Dad. Come on, you're helping people. I'm so proud of you." And that was, a big sort of help in overcoming and making the right choice to give this career, this mediumship, psychic mediumship, this career 100%. I knew why I had to do it, and I knew it was going to happen one way or another. So, but having your family behind you saying, "Listen, we're very proud of you," that's a big, big, big thing. Um, the reason, Mark, and everybody else, that the sort of the governing reason, I guess, I decided to really go down this route and really examine this route and look into it in severe depth was my fear of passing, my fear of dying. Okay, now being an Irish Catholic, that's kind of drilled into you, so to speak. And it's drilled into you in not necessarily a very pleasant way. Okay, it's drilled into you under the concept of fear and not love, which is the wrong way to do it. You know, so I wanted to eliminate that fear, so I went into this 100%, learning about it, learning about the concept of spirit, learning about the concept and understanding the difference between ghosts and spirits, and learning what how the they can affect you in a physical way. In other words, hurt you or not hurt you, and so on and so forth. Learning everything that I could literally, if it was literal, it was out there in literature, I read it. I asked questions. I got in front of different mediums. I got in front of different people. I just worked and worked and worked and worked and worked until the point that I understood what was real, what was not real, and what was downright just dumb. I'm a big believer in eliminate the negative. You can only be left with the positive. So my whole concept was, if I can work hard enough to prove that there is the next life, then if I sort of convince you and show you there's somewhere else to go to after this life, then you won't worry about death. Okay, and that was my plan. My plan was to eliminate the fear of death for people, so that they'll stop worrying about it and then get on with living. That's the goal. Live, live life, live it now, and live it to the max, and enjoy life to the absolute max, and make it work for you. So my what I say every show is, if you want to honor those who have crossed over, then be the best you can be here. It's that simple. But being frightened of being a medium, no. If anything at all, it's taught me a lot more than I could ever be. It's made me calmer. It's made me more knowledgeable. So nothing to fear of, really. Joan Bronson says, "Is this live?" Yeah, it's live. Trudy says, "You're already there. You're all already here." Not too sure. Amanda says you still can't get it on YouTube. Then you guys, you just got to keep kind of playing. Emma Lorma says, "You always explain everything in a really good way." Emma, thank you. That's very kind of you to say that. That helps me too. Thank you so very, very much. I promise, and I hold my promises very high, says Kathy. Good. So Paul, I said on the day, Jackie Noon says to me, Paul, I said the day before, send a sign to me, and you got, there you go. And, people say to me, oh, are they, could you tell them this? That's one of the lines I love people saying to me, could you tell them this? And me being jovial as I am, I'm a bit of a jokester. I will say, I don't speak ghost. And they went, what do you mean you don't speak ghost? There isn't a language that they can understand that's different to ours. It's not a ghost language. You just tell them. They understand. You tell them like you're telling me. You don't have to tell me to tell them. You just tell them. Okay. So that's why I was saying, especially like tonight, and we have an anniversary of our mom's passing. I always say to people who've got an anniversary or birthday anniversary, or an anniversary of someone's crossing, whatever it is, actually don't even wait that long. Don't wait to a birthday or an anniversary. Do it every day. Do it every time you get an opportunity. Just sit in a chair, cup of tea in hand, close your eyes, and totally envisage the people that have crossed to the other side of life, the people that you are connected to, the ones the moms, the dads for me, my aunts and uncles, my cousins, my friends who have crossed over. Close your eyes and envisage them, and I usually thank them for being in my life for whilst they were here, and now that they're on the other side of life. And I always ask them, and I'd say, listen, hey, I've got a lot of work to do for people around the world. I could really do with your help. Please help me. And they do. People, they come and help me. They don't have to be a blood member of my family. I have friends. One of my dearest friends, Carol. She said to me before she left, she goes, actually, let me tell you the story of Carol. She is an amazing lady, and I was doing a church called the Little Church. That's what it's actually called, the Little Church in St. Austell here in Cornwall. And so I did a service, and at the end of the service, everybody used to come up and meet and greet me and say, "Oh my God, I had a great time. Thank you so very much." And so on and so forth. Carol came up to me and she said, "Hey, I really enjoyed tonight." And I said, "Well, thank you very much." And my name's Paul. My name's Carol, and she says, "I'm dying." And she looked at me right in my eyes, and I went, "Well, me being me, and please, my flippancy, my comedic concept usually comes out when I have when I'm nervous. That's when I become really more flippant." So I went, "Aren't we all?" And she said, "No, no, no. I am dying. I've literally got months to live." And I said, "Okay." I said, "Right. Do you know when you get to the other side of life?" She said, "Yeah." I said, "Do you think you'll be busy? Because I could do with another guide." And she started laughing and she gave me a big hug. And from that moment, we became really, really, really good friends. And I coached her and her family all the way through her decline in health till she crossed over. In fact, she wouldn't even cross over until I actually went up to her. They one of her daughters phoned me and she said, "Paul, she's not letting go. She won't go until she speaks to you." And I said, "Okay." So I drove up to the house and I just said, "Can I have some time alone with her?" And they all said, "Yes, of course." So I went in, sat with her, and held her hand, and I had a wee bit of a flippancy with her. I said, "Come on, I got enough on my plate today without having to come up here and see you, all that kind of stuff." I was just joking with her. I leaned right into her cheek. I give her a kiss on the cheek, and I said, "Hey, it's okay. You can go when you're ready. Everything will be fine." And I gave the daughters a hug. I shook the hands of all the other people, and I left. And the only reason I had to leave was because I had to pick my daughter up from school. So anyway, about half an hour after I got the pickup from the daughter from school, I got a wee message to say she's gone. Thank you. And that was it. But prior to her leaving, in the time that I was coaching her on the way down, she said to me, "By the way," I said, "Yeah." She goes, "When I get to the other side," I said, "Yeah." She goes, "You better get your ass in gear because I'm going to kick it every opportunity I get." And so she then became a helper. She's part of my team on the other side of life. Um, I don't like disappointing people, but I don't like people knowing mistruths either. So people come to me and go, "Oh, my dad is my guide," and I don't like people being. I don't want to burst that bubble, but that's not the case. And so I try to say, no, 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 he's not your guide. He is what's referred to as a helper. Okay, he's not your guide because he can't occupy two places at the same time. He can't bring you into this world and then be your guide. It can't happen because as soon as you are assigned to come to the earth, you're also assigned a guide. So your dad and your mom are making you. You're assigned your guide. So, but they will definitely be what's referred to as helpers on the other side of life. So a lot of people do ask me that question as well. Trudy says, I had a squirrel come to my window today while I was working. It chittered at me sitting there, and then when it left, would love to know what it's. Hey, and you said earlier on, Missy's Crystal Tips, you said you don't have any friends. I rest my case. There you go. Roger says, Paul, or sorry, everyone, please remember Paul doesn't do readings on this show. Paul, guys, thank you so very much. Some people don't understand that. But thank you very much for breaking that to those people who are asking me for reads. I've got great kids. Yes, I do. I do. I have fantastic children from Rosie right down to Maya. I have phenomenal children. Excuse me one second. My goodness. 2:22. Look at that. I can't believe I quickly an hour gone like that. Mark says, by the way, Mark, thank you for all these questions. They're excellent. Keep them coming. Mark says, what makes a good medium? Honesty. That's it. Honesty. That's what makes a good medium. If you're training to be a medium, then let me give you some really great advice. Okay, number one, you will only be the medium you're going to be. Don't try and be a medium that like somebody. Don't try and emulate another person. Look at these persons. Look at different mediums, and I mean across the board. Look at different mediums, even the ones you think are the absolute total or idiots, because they may do one thing on one day that you think, oh wow, actually that's really cool, and you can adapt things that will come your way. Sit in different circles. Don't sit in one circle. Don't learn one way. Okay. I knew I had the right teacher when she said to me, Paul, I will teach you everything that I know and everything you need to know. But not everything I teach you will sit with you. And I was like, what does that mean? She said, excuse me, I just had some fizzy pop there. She said, I will teach you everything that works for me, but not everything that works for me will work for you. You will find your own way. I knew I was with the right teacher. Okay. So the same thing with those of you guys who are going to train. Sit, by all means, come and sit with me. Come and be part of my schools and part of my teachings. Um, I have taken from many, many other mediums, but a lot of the stuff that I've sort of integrated myself works really, really well. And I don't like hold. I teach everybody exactly how I do it, so that they can either adapt how I work to their own way of working. So Mark will be Mark, the best medium Mark can be, and I will always be the best medium Paul can be. That doesn't mean either of us are better. Like Roger, for an example, Roger says to me, Roger says on his show, Paul is a better medium than me. I had to tell him off, in a kind and loving brotherly way, by the way, not like not like that. No, I said, no, Roger, I'm not better than you. I'm just different to you. Okay, you work your way, which is the Latino Psychic Visions way, and I work the Paul Francis way, and that's my way. But that doesn't either make Roger better than me or me better than Roger. We just are two different. He's very psychic. He works very much on the psychic level, with mediumship in the background, whereas I'm mediumship with psychic in the background. So it kind of works. We complement each other in quite a lot of ways. He's a much better guitar player than I am, and I'm better looking. So he just spat his tea all over the place. I'm only joking. So what makes a good medium, Mark, is honesty. Okay. Um, don't allow medium to stretch the truth. Okay, just to make it look good, because you're not making it look good for the person. You're trying to make it look good for the medium. So when they go, "Oh, do you know such and such and such?" and they go, "Oh, kind of know that." "Oh, yeah, that's it. That's it." And they stretch it. No, it either fits or it doesn't fit. It's like a jigsaw puzzle. Okay, either the piece of the jigsaw fits into that hole or it doesn't. You can't saw it off and force it in. It either fits or it doesn't. Okay, so the biggest thing in mediumship, or one of the biggest things about mediums that I teach all my students, is what the biggest part of medium should understand is learning how to listen. Okay, because a lot of people will sit down in front of you and they'll come for a reading, but really what they want to do is get rid of a lot of grief. Okay, so learn to listen. And now when they're getting rid of the grief, don't forget you're the medium, so therefore you're waiting on the friends and family who are also listening. Okay, so the interaction is a conversation, and that's what mediumship should be. Another good medium, another sign of a good medium is somebody who will say, number one, don't come to me if you've just lost somebody. Okay, mediumship is not a cure for grief. Come to me for if you want to ask questions. If you've just lost somebody, by all means, help them with questions answering, but don't do a reading. Okay, because people want, when they've just lost someone, what a person really really wants is you to bring them back, and you can't do that, right? It's not possible for you to do that. So what you can do is say, hey, listen, this is how it works. They cross over, they're very much connected to you still, they're still around you, but they're also equally learning what the other side of life is like. So it's just a little bit of patience, honor them by being the best you can be here, and honesty is the height of a good medium. And um, learning how to listen and learning how to understand a person is can get angry, because of the grief, not because whether you've said something right, wrong, or different. And learning to understand that no doesn't mean you're wrong. No means a multitude of things that I teach students. No means no, I don't want to hear from that person. No means I don't know that person in that side of the family. No means I'm divorced. I really don't want to talk to that person. No means a multitude of things. It doesn't necessarily mean you're wrong. If you deliver the information as you hear, see, feel, or acknowledge it, then you're doing the right thing. It's that simple. Okay. Um, never, 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 never be a doctor. Okay. Let a doctor be a doctor and you be a psychic medium. Jackie says, one word, you're inspirational. Oh, bless you, Jackie. Thank you. Thank you so much. Roger says, Mark, the people who sit in front of a medium will tell others is good. Well, yes. They'll also tell others that they didn't get out of their. They'll, shall we say, exaggerate what they didn't get. Okay, like I was asked on the show on Monday night, do I do readings about babies? And I said I no longer did it because I did a projection of someone who couldn't get pregnant, and I said you would be pregnant, but you'd be pregnant by um, September, October, and she got pregnant in November. And because she got pregnant in November, I was wrong, and she branded me as a bad psychic medium. Didn't know what I was talking about. Bearing in mind, she was telling everybody she couldn't get pregnant, and I told her she would. But because I was a couple of weeks out, I was wrong. So they will exaggerate the negatives, even though the negatives weren't negative, they were right. So, but that being said, and on my website, there's a place or a section called Paul's Advice, and I always say only go to a medium that has been highly recommended by your friends and family. Okay, so it swings and roundabouts, really. And don't forget, every medium and psychic is human, right? We still can have a day off, and we can still have bad days. So it's a multitude of things. Where are we? 10 past 10. Trudy says we should not be rushing to the destination. We should enjoy the journey. That is really cool, madam. Well done, you. Go to the top of the class and have an apple. Okay. Kelly says you have the real one and the fakes. Roger and Paul are the real deal. Oh, Kelly, you're a darling. Thank you so much. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. Um, Faye says that's a great explanation of what a psychic medium is. Oh, bless your heart. Trust your instincts. Now, as we've got about 20 minutes left, I'll just discuss. I've been planning on doing a course, online course, a seminar, if you want to call it that, on meeting your guides. Okay, and that is definitely still going to happen. But the reason I haven't given a date yet is because every single time we are told that we're going to move home, I go, right, okay, so I'll do the dates there. So we get this date between there, and I go, we're going to be moving home, so I'll do the seminar here. This gets pushed back. Okay. So I'm like, I can't commit to the seminar until I have the exact dates of when I'm going to move. So it's kind of like it's that old saying, isn't it? I'm stuck between a brick and a hard place. So once I have the exact dates that we're moving, I will then be able to say, right, now I can commit to the dates of the seminars. And the first seminar will be on how to meet your guides. Now, if you, like, for example, Mark is asking some great questions tonight. If you want to discover how to meet your guides, then this is the seminar for you. Because not only will I teach you how to meet your guides, of course, I will teach you about protection, meditation, how to understand and deal with your gatekeeper, what your gatekeeper is all about, and a very special place called your sacred place. So there's a multitude of lessons within that one seminar. Okay. And then we will be doing weekend seminars. So it'll be Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Those seminars will be coming up. So you'll be meditating, meeting your guides, working with your guides, building a rapport with your guides, learning how to interact with your guides, how to talk and listen and understand through feeling, touch, smell, taste, and the five sisters, or the five Claires, as they're called. So those weekend seminars will be coming up, and then will be progression into the psychic school, which is something different. So you have level 1, 2, and 3 in the psychic school. Level 1 is taking what you've learned already in the seminars and really building that through. Level 2 is working really with your psychic and mediumship abilities, and you will be doing readings and things of that nature, learning how to psychometry, learning how to picture read, a multitude of things, working with pendulums, literally a whole pile of things. And then level 3 of that particular school is where you work. Okay, you're at the level ready to work. Okay, and then when you've done kind of like the level 3, you get certificated on level 3. So you get certification for passing level 1, level 2, and level 3. And by the time I've finished level 3, you will be a working medium, and it is that way, So there's a lot of things that is going on that I really can't wait to get stuck into. Also, when we've moved into the new premises, there's going to be new studios, and in that, we've been talking for some time about two different things. Number one is turning the books that I've done into audiobooks, which I've been asked to do so many times. Can you just do an audio version of this? And I keep thinking, yes, I will. Yes, I will. There's no reason why I shouldn't. I've got recording studio, so it should be easy to do. And the second thing is the three levels, the psychic school, filming it and actually doing the school as a psychic school. Then you can buy the school as a download. Okay, things of that nature. So there's lots and lots, as well as working on TV shows and paranormal investigation team work. Oh, there's a lot to do. So we've got a lot to do, but I'm looking forward to it. So Faye says, I'm very excited about this summer. I'm very excited. Meeting your guides. I'm also interested in the weekend seminar. Well, don't worry about that. It's all gonna happen. Dawn says, I can't wait. Oh, I'm bursting. We need to manifest Paul's house. Well, the house is you can manifest. Tell you what you can manifest, okay? Manifest the legal teams and they getting their finger out and getting on with it. Because the house is already there. We're just waiting on the legals. So that's what's holding everything up. Your books on audio would be fantastic. Yeah, and that'll be definitely, we'll be definitely doing that. Kelly says, is the seminar over YouTube and how much is, no, it'll be on one of the other formats. It's not going to be an open forum. It'll be, there'll only be a certain amount of students allowed in, and then I can dedicate my time to each student. And I've forgotten the name. Zoom. It'll be like through Zoom, something like that. Don't forget, ladies and gentlemen, we're coming to you on 105.3 right up to 107.7 FM on United Public Radio Network, and that's UPRN Talk Radio. Coming to you live tonight and always through the beautiful city of New Orleans. Don't forget, coming up after the show tonight, we have Outer Realms with the lovely Michelle and Amelia. Don't forget to stick around to watch that. And there is a slew of fantastic shows now on the UPRN network. Don't forget, Roger and Faye's show has now joined the UPRN family, and you can watch them all on that network too. Don't forget to follow them and look after their shows. The next show with Roger and Faye is Saturday, 10:30, and I think it's the Central Time. I think, if I remember correctly, 4:30 in the afternoon here for us in the UK or GMT zones. For me to hear you say the words that let's bring Trudy up here. For me to hear you say the words that you meant them rather than the way I put them in my own angle makes an audio a must. Yes. Trudy was one of the people who was giving me a push to get on with the audio book. So it is something I should really get on with, to be absolutely honest. You guys are all right. I will look into it and get it done. I do have recording studio. So it's not as if I can't do it. It's just I'm just trying to figure time. But once we move, then I don't have that issue with time anymore. So I'll be able to figure it all out. Paul, you will have to start the course at the beginning, as I already connect. Well, it's not a matter of if you already connect. It's a matter of learning all the different ways that you might be able to hone that connection, Jackie. But it's you start where you want to start. At the end of the day, I teach stuff that people come to me. Let's put it this way: there's a well-known TV psychic who teaches out there, and she teaches what she says is her way, and it's the right way. I did a big seminar. It was a 1.5 hour seminar, and all of her students went to the seminar. The weird thing about it was that she made them go to the seminar, which made me giggle. And they came up to me to buy my books afterwards and asked me to sign them. And they all said to me, "Hey, Paul, listen, we were told we were supposed to come to your seminar, and it was really to heckle you. However, we've learned more with you in an hour and a half than we have 6 months with this other person." Okay. So it's not necessarily whether or not you connect, it's whether or not you may learn something else. If you're connecting with your guides, that's fantastic. But you might learn a couple of other techniques that makes that connection easier or much more smoother. I don't know. And but at the end of the day, your call. Tina says, I would love, she wrote it that way, huge LOVE. I would love an audiobook. I have to be honest and say that I learn audibly faster than I do physically as well. So must be 15 years ago, says Trudy, since I was your student, but I still feel I would benefit from joining in on the seminars. You will always be welcome. Always be welcome. And you were an excellent student, young lady. And what the only thing that let you down, Trudy Woods, is your own self confidence. That's all. Your abilities are way up there, but you kind of like you're always hard on yourself, and that's something I really don't like. You're always hard on yourself. Stop being hard on yourself. You're a wonderful person. I've known Trudy, let's put it this way, I've known Trudy longer than I've known my own children. There you go. Mark says, thank you for the info and your answers are appreciated. Mark, you're very welcome. You're all very welcome. And there's always that Irish accent. Oh, you old smoothie, you. Ladies and gentlemen of the world, it is 20 past the hour of 10. That means I've only got a few minutes left. So if you want to ask me some questions, then please do. But remember, as things are happening really fast for me at the moment, I will be back Monday. And I'm planning to be here Monday and Thursday of next week. If it's any different, I will let you guys know. And we'll be able to make things happen. But if you've got any questions, you please fire them in right now. Trudy says 36 years. That tells you there. 36 years I've known her. Don't forget, if you live in the southwest of the UK and you want to be part of the Paraghost team, then please, please, please contact Trudy. Contact her through Messenger, by the way, okay? And we will be putting the team together again right after I move. But once we do put the team together and after I've moved, we're going to be going full tilt. Okay, so don't forget, communicate, appreciate. Now look at that. I've just looked at the time, 22:22, all the twos. Do you see if I'm a Wiccan? Mark, that's down to you, buddy. There's nobody can say you're a Wiccan. That's your call. Okay. Wiccan is a lot. There's a lot more to the concept of Wiccan than just hugging a tree, for an example. Although I do take the mickey out of Johanna for that because my wife is a Wiccan, so I will. I very often take the mickey out of her to be very, very truthful, but that's not because I want to, put her down in any way, shape, or form. Not at all. I just make her laugh, and that's what it's all about. But I would say a big part of every human has the Wiccan. There's a Wiccan in every human being, because we're all connected to the earth. We're all connected to the animals of the earth, the birds in the sky, the fish in the water in the sea, the rivers, the trees, the bees, and there's Wiccan in all of us. And we talk about the magic of Wiccan, the white magic. It's about the beauty and the love within. I think that's where magic starts. The beauty of seeing a newborn child in your hands and your arms. There's magic everywhere if you just look for it. Guys, I've come to the end of the show. Thank you once again for making this a magnificent show. Please, please continue to share the show. Share it with your friends and invite your friends and family. But please don't forget to subscribe to the show. Don't forget to hit the little bell icon. And don't forget, please like the show. I will see you all on Monday. Have a fantastic weekend. Don't forget to drop in and see Roger and Faye on Saturday at 10:30 Central Time, I think it is. 4:30 in the afternoon here for us people in the UK. I'll very likely be on there because I'll be in Truro around that time. It means I've got a bit of time for myself, so I'll most likely will jump on and say hi to everybody. But if I don't see you, communicate, appreciate, and validate everybody in your life. So a medium never has to do it for you. And if you want to honor those people who've crossed, it's quite simple. Be the best you can be here and now. And remember, they want to talk to you. To talk to them and then have a little bit of patience and listen. They'll talk back. Thank you very much for being here. I appreciate each and every one of you. Mary says, "Thank you for a very informative show as always, and thanks to your our extended family. I'm so very grateful. I was led to you and Roger, sending the best wishes to you for your new home and family. Looking forward to it." Dawn says, "Come for a cuppa. I will let you know where I am, Dawn. And yeah, let's link up and have a brew. This sounds good. Right. So be safe. Look after each other, and I'll see you all very, very soon. Good night. God bless."